Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Sunless Sea, shall we? Just picking up where we left off and kind of exploring a little bit on my own before I streamed again at the game again this week, so that I can just kind of refresh myself on the controls and everything like that. So as I look at this, I have a terrible engine, you know, a terrible gun, and in this port, what can I do here? The dark. Oh, I'm back at home. Okay, so I can do things involving London. The Venturer needs my help, but I can't really do anything at this moment with that. I could go shopping. I have a little bit of echoes, but not a ton. And let's see here. How am I doing on my supplies? Are not great. My fuel is okay. So we probably want to go do some quests and visit some different ports so that we can talk to the Admiral. And we have no intelligence to submit. Do we have any post reports to submit? And let's see. Or port reports, rather. No, I don't. I think I've already did that. And I don't have any intelligence, and I can spend favor to get fuel, but I don't want to spend favor. I want to keep the favor that I have, because he can let you do some pretty cool stuff, like repair your ship, which my ship is not great, right? Like, if I wanted to go repair the ship, I could do that, but it's expensive. So what do I feel like? I need to get rid of this unstamped crate of brilliant souls. I must have this for somebody. Let's see. A shadowy figure has, I agreed to smuggle souls from London to Mount Palmerston. Okay, so that's what I did. So if I look at the map and I try to find Mount Palmerston, I swear I saw... Not yet. This somewhere, but I did not. So we need to explore to go find where that even is. So we could go south of Quaker's Haven to see, you know, what's around. I don't have that much hunger, supplies. So I think what I need to do, I can go to my lodgings. Did I already do this? I think I already read the news. Yeah, everything is locked. I believe I've done everything that I can do here. So let's go. Let's launch. Let's see. We've got the Z-Bat. We got the lights. Full-powered engines. An unexpected letter. Who sent it? What does it say? You. When I return next to London, I'll bring an additional recruit. Your child. Choose this option if you're giving birth to a child. Okay. Your sweetheart. A surprise for you on your next return to London. I have taken in a foundling. Choose this option if you're unlikely to be either a father or a mother. You are a father. Yeah, let's run with this one, where it's just like, guess what? We had a child. All right. A new life. Go quickly. You have a child. Return to London and look after them, and they may become a scion, allowing you to take 2 legacies. All right, so we need to return to London, which... is actually easier said than done, given the... Here we go. Let me just kind of rotate, try to not wreck my ship. All right, so this is costing us dearly in terms of food. I wish you would have got to me before. All right, we're going to dock, and let's see. Where is this kid? A new arrival. Your sweetheart, and your child. What will your child call you? I can't say father or mother or captain. Oh, I have to improve my lodgings. You can't raise a child in a room above a pub. Well, people do, but your sweetheart expects better. Okay, so I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I don't have a house, so I can't do anything with this right now, so let's just try to become a better captain. Right now, we're a terrible captain. And, you know, we deserve all the bad stuff that goes with that. Let me check the map. There's my boat. I'm going to go... I kind of want to go to Hunter's Keep, actually, because they have food. And I might be able to sneak a few meals out of these people. All right, ladies. I could really use a couple of sandwiches. I mean, let's hang out. All right. News. Do I have news? Okay, great. You asked the sulfuride maid to carry a few hints of your news to the sisters, and so they're here. And let's see, who do we want to, work with? Phoebe, Lucy, or Cynthia? Let's do Phoebe. Here's a story. Two lovers parted by water, a raven that carried messages of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks, as if to a song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts out through the skylight of the dining room to the false stars glittering on the roof of the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The Untersee shimmers below. Islands lie like mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spined things pulse in the depths. There is a scent like the scent before a storm. The storm came, says Phoebe quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there, you finished the last course. The scowling maid reluctantly serves cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. So, we got memory of distant shores. We are acquainted, but something has changed. We gained a supply. We lost all of our hunger. We got a fragment. Okay, cool. And they're not here. We can get this. We got the port report. So, it's not the best port report, but we got it. And we got some supplies. And now, I'm going to just go this way. Again, is this wise? No. But I want to be able to try to find some new ports. I can't really score in London unless I have ports that are new. So that's what I'm checking out. Let me see here. Okay. All right, let's see here. There's a light down there I could follow, and maybe the lights are useful in, helping you figure out where to go. I'm going to send out my bat, see if this guy gets lucky at all. Okay, here we go. Pigmote Island. Where's that? He found something. Although I think, like, I'm not sure if it gets marked on this map or not. When you are far from land, click on the Z-Bat. Right. I did that. Oh, here we go. Click it to mark it on the chart. I didn't. Now we marked it. Okay, whoops. I made a mistake and didn't mark it on the chart. Now I did. And so this will help me figure out where to go. Now we have to watch out for the mist. We will. Oh, God. Or we'll try. Oh, here's a port. Look at this. Saints Haven. Great. This is actually the place that they told us about. So I didn't really find something new, but this is good. Pygmy. All right, on the lonely desert beach. There is no habitation in sight, no market, only an old rotting dock. A stench of sand thickens into damp black earth from which sprout stunted palms? Not quite. Tall fungal growths with frond-like caps, as if someone had sculpted the idea of a tree from a mushroom. All right, let's disembark. See what awaits you. War, as you step on the quay, you hear a clamor, shouts, and shooting. You can see off in the distance smoke rising from beyond the hill and dots of fire flecking the horizon. Two tiny figures stand a little further down the quay, unmoving, as if awaiting your approach. A literary interlude. The following is an extract from the popular Diary of a Z Captain, from London to Irem and what we did there before we arrived, washed ashore on Mutton Island, and subsequently serialized in the Unexpurgated Gazette. The author's identity remains unknown. It's dripping blood. The tale of Pygmote Isle, in which a delegation is made, a choice is presented, a war is declared, a most singular treasure is sought by all, and a new empire is founded with tooth and claw. Chapter 1. The Delegation. The figures were rodents. To my left was a Rattus Faber wearing goggles, a blacksmith's apron, and an assortment of tools. To my right, an unusually large guinea pig wearing a helmet and breastplate reminiscent of nothing so much as the High Middle Ages. It's like Redwall. The rat stepped forward first and bowed. "Welcome, Captain, to Rat Star Island. I am Edgar, Second Chief Engineer of the 3rd Rat Brigade. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice." The rat stepped back at precisely the same moment. With what appeared to be the ease of long habit, the guinea pig scuttled forward and made a declamatory chirp. "Welcome, Captain, to the Isle of Kavia. I am Lady Augusta Devereaux Swinch of the Blackwater Swinches, Seneschal to our King, Gracenaw, first of his name. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice." This is so funny. So what do we call it, right? So we could speak to the chief engineer, the Seneschal, or I've heard more than enough. So his eyes had a wave-cold glint to them, and he wore his scars like jewels. How did an armored guinea pig manage to look regal? A rat in the making. I asked the chief engineer to elaborate. He looked at me for a long, measured moment before speaking gruffly. "We came to this island to make a home for ourselves away from London. It's cats and snuffers, it's rat skin suits. We came to live as citizens of our own republic. We came with our tools, our teeth, our clever hands, and we made a beautiful city by the light of the rat star that shone bright and blue on Mount Ararat. Ararat. The chief engineer nodded toward the distant hill. "One day we braved the depths of the chicken woods, and from the top of Mount Ararat we plucked the rat star to be our light, our beacon. But the pigs of Cavi saw the light, and they lusted for it. They sent armies to rule us and steal our star. We will not permit them to take what is ours. We will resist to our last breath. Will you join us in defeating them?" All right, what does the Seneschal say? "A night out of habit." The Seneschal cleared her throat with a delicacy to rival the Duchess's own before speaking. "Gracenaw the king, our lord and sovereign, full 7 months had sojourned on the sea, conquered this land, and won the southern main. Now no fortress against him shall remain. No city walls be left for him to gain, save the rats that squeak behind mountain. Unlikely was the lamb of our deliverance, assured shall be our glories and their fall, when our lady's eye restored be to our hall. The seneschal composed herself, then added, We saw truth and beauty by the light of our lady's eye on Mount Caveat. It's a caveat. But the rats, with their guns and their chatter and their peasants' politics, stole it from us. We will subjugate them and take it back. They are a rabble, and we will rule them with the steel-shod velvet of our paws. Will you join us? Okay. So this is interesting. Normally I don't like rats because of Redwall. I just don't trust, weasels, rats, rodents of that type. However, I don't like the kind of like aristocracy, the blue bloods like beating down the working class rats like this. So I've made my choice, and I'm going to attempt to broker a peace. He seemed grumpy but honest. I'm going to side with the chief engineer. So, a friend of rats, I extended a finger to the chief engineer, who shook it grimly. The seneschal hissed and chattered her teeth in disgust, but kept her distance. You've made the right choice, said the chief engineer. Let me show you around. We got fuel, supplies, and an occurrence. Chapter 3, A Rat in the Making. The chief engineer led me to the northern side of the islands, skirting the chicken woods. We passed through a number of what can only be termed checkpoints as fierce-eyed rats shouldered their derringers and saluted the chief engineer. Soon we came upon a small colony, smaller than some of the infestations I had encountered in London flats, perhaps only 50 Ratus Faber altogether, working diligently to fortify their side of the island. The first thing I noticed was a brilliant light beaming out from a stump of chickenwood about 6 feet high. It bathed the whole settlement in a clean blue glow, and was almost too bright to look at. By its light I could see several raised mounds of earth, suggesting shallow tunnels. An efficient fishing operation was set up by the water, an albino rat mending nets while others stabbed sharpened sticks into the waves. Further inland was a barracks, where a sergeant barked drills at a small squadron of fighters. My arrival drew attention, and several rats paused in their work to look at me curiously. Welcome to Marinia, said the chief engineer, voice warm with pride. It's not much to look at now, but it will be once we've rousted the cabbies. Take a stroll around while I summon the war council. With that, he vanished into one of the mounds and left me to explore, so I could visit the barracks, the rat star, the beach, and finish. The drill sergeant appeared to be sizing me up. Were the few rats around her really all she had to launch an attack? We were fighting impressive odds. I approached the drill sergeant and went so far as to salute her, which earned me a grunt of satisfaction. The sergeant dismissed her troops and offered me a bit of chickenwood jerky to gnaw on. There's more of us below ground, she explained, but not enough. The cabbies are bigger, and there's more of them. We're better with weapons, but haven't got the stuff to make 'em with. Most of us came here as stowaways and brought nothing but food, tools, and the fur on our backs. We can fish, and we nibble the chicken woods, but we can't make guns out of trees. The cabbies came with their own steamer and seem to have endless supplies. We raid 'em sometimes, but there's so few of us, and we can never hold on to territory gained for long. But that's of no consequence. All we want is to be left in peace to build our republic, and the Rat Star, she added thoughtfully after a moment. Of course, we want that too. The chief engineer, here we go. Take a closer look at the Rat Star. An excitable-looking rat was peering at it through smoky goggles, twitching her whiskers and making notes on what appeared to be real paper. It's blue as a sapphire, but endlessly more brilliant. It's not a star, of course, not really, but try explaining that to the others. The chief engineer doesn't want me working too hard to convince them. Says this is better for morale, but just look at it. Look. She offered me her goggles. I managed to work them over just enough of one of my eyes to see the truth of what she was studying. It was scintillac, but unlike any I'd seen before. Blue as a sapphire, but more brilliant. Something about the clarity of its color was tremendously soothing. The chief science officer tittered with pleasure as I handed her goggles back. Those of us who've been to the Cavi side of the island and lived at Televet say that there's plenty of glow there, plenty of bright in the water all round, but nothing like this. We took this from the island's center, Mount Ararat. And only it's not a mountain, of course, any more than this is a star. It's hollow. There's a sweet water inside and coral crawling up in the walls of it, but nothing that glows save this. It's ours now, and no one can take it from us. I headed down to the beach. Who ever heard of a rat mending a net? An albino, where the green billows played, an albino rat smiled up at me from his mending work, looking dainty and a little shy. Chickenwood floats, especially when it's dried out and sealed, so we're able to paddle out a bit and cast our nets. We come up with all sorts of things, blind fish, crabs, sometimes a chunk of broken tentacle. But the fishing would never be so good without the rat star, he beamed. I think it only draws good fish and keeps the scary ones at bay. I know the chief science officer doesn't believe it, but I do. That light is our livelihood. All right, I finished my exploration. The bells of the War Council rang. I was summoned. All right. So, the chief engineer emerged from underground with a motley assortment of other rats. He introduced them as weapon experts, strategists, and field commanders. So you're going to help us beat the Cavies, he said, a hard edge to his voice. But how exactly? So I could offer strategic assistance. I could take the lead or offer nothing. We engineered a distraction that the LBs could use to plunder the Cavi ship and turn the tide in their favor. I could take the lead because I have a ship. I had nothing to offer but my advice. The king took it in desperation, if not gratitude. Let's try the strategic assistance. You know, we don't have a great chance, but we can pretend like it'll work. Let's see. A questing beast. I dressed up one of me sailors in a mess of shabby cloth smeared with prisoners' honey and instructed him to roll around in the black earth of the island. Soon we had a glorious mud monster to send thrashing through the chicken woods toward the Cavies. The distraction worked perfectly. The Cavies diverted their force toward our makeshift beast, leaving the rats with very little opposition as they plundered the grounded ship. They returned triumphant, as did my sailor, laughing, having led the Cavies a merry chase. Within a few hours, the rats' diligence had resulted in the building of a remarkable cache of weapons, with which they successfully routed their enemy. The rats, ever egalitarian, shared their spoils in addition to the promised food and fuel. So we actually succeeded, and hail Marinia, two houses alike in dignity, not that that's saying much, mind. So our Pigmote Island might quality is now 4. Okay, so that means better than 0. And then it went to 5, which is unexceptional. And spirit goes up to 3. We got 4 bale. Maybe this is, we got a scintillac. And we got some fuel. Okay. Great. The House of Cavi had fallen. Wow, we won. Marinia was triumphant. All that remained were the celebrations and the continuation of our voyage. Oh, how we feasted long into the night. Then I invited one of the Raddus favor to join us, so we can get one. And it's a tinkerer. I don't know if this is going to be a mascot or not, though. I interceded on behalf of the Cavies. They were crushed, defeated, and I could see that their spirits broken. They needed an advocate. The wide, dark Z beckoned. We had eaten our fill, and our business was concluded. It was time to continue our voyage and see what other wonders and terrors awaited us. So, what do I want to do? You know, like the rats win, but what happens if I do this? A grudging concession. I appealed to the chief engineer's moral fortitude and sense of fair play. Perhaps the Cavies suffered the loss of the light from the center of the island. Perhaps they were only trying to get it back. not steal it from the rats. The chief engineer looked troubled at the thought. We only wanted to be left alone, he said. He looked toward the seneschal, haphazardly bandaged among the rat's other prisoners. Perhaps further negotiation is possible. As I left, I saw the albino rat timidly offering a young Cavi prisoner a piece of fresh fish. So, the quality is now 3 because we forged peace between the rats, and the spirit is now 6, optimistic. That's pretty good. Can we get this guy to join us? What does this mean? Oh, so we lost... the chief engineer couldn't leave his colony, but he relayed my quest to his people. The albino rat I saw mending nets shyly stepped forward. I'm good at fixing things, he said earnestly, and I'd like to see more of the world. I waited for him to gather up some effects and say goodbye to his family before accompanying us on board. So, unfortunately, it went down to trouble, but we got him, and let's go out to the sea. So we got a port report, and a new nation has been founded. How about that? There. You finish your diary entry, and the final dregs of the rats' surprisingly good wine. They line up to salute you as you leave the victory banquet, escorting you to your ship through the foundations of their new republic. Sweet. All right. Are there any shops here? No. It is a mascot. It gives you Veils +2, sadly. So this mascot is like pages and mirrors. That's a shame. Can't really speak to it. I wish you could have more mascots. Maybe other boats let you have more mascots. All right, awesome. Well, we did a great job. I had no idea that this island was going to have so much story, but we won it for the rats, and we even tried to broker a peace. So a new nation has formed, and we'll see how that plays out. Everyone, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your tips and suggestions as I try to learn and just enjoy this game. Not spoilers, just kind of like, things that I might have missed or things to help clarify and help a new player along. And I will be streaming this game again soon, which I look forward to. Take care, everyone.